The biggest escalation since those March raids on Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and Miami. We are now hearing that federal investigators are preparing to possibly bring witnesses in front of a federal grand jury in New York City. What we have heard is that possible witnesses have been notified that they could be called to testify. Now, sources do caution that investigators are still in the process of gathering information. In fact, they are still calling in new witnesses, and they have called in some witnesses multiple times. We also hear that the majority of the accusers who have filed these civil lawsuits against Sean Diddy Combs have been brought in for questioning, and again, some of them being called in numerous times. We hear that many are cooperating and even handing over evidence that they feel could be relevant into this federal probe. Now, a spokesperson for Homeland Security did not respond to our request for comment about the presence of a grand jury, but they did confirm that this investigation is presently ongoing.
And Elizabeth, what are you learning about the evidence that investigators could be reviewing here?
So, as I mentioned, those federal raids that were conducted on his homes back in March, obviously a lot of people wondering what was seized. Well, we are learning now that federal investigators are in possession of video footage that was taken inside of Combs's residence. We hear that these investigators have been contacting individuals that they have seen on this footage. One person, in addition to the accusers who have filed these civil suits, is a male sex worker. That is what a source tells me, and that they have been brought in for questioning through these federal investigators. Now, when the raids first happened, we had a law enforcement source tell us at CNN that the investigation was largely based in sex trafficking, which is what HSI specializes in. Now we are hearing that that scope has been widened and that investigators are really looking into all of these claims put forth in these civil lawsuits. That would include not just sex trafficking, but also money laundering and illegal drugs. I have a source who tells me, quote, "This is much bigger than just these lawsuits."
Yo, 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 it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV. UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in as it broke into the news early this morning with CNN giving another update on the Diddy situation involving the federal investigation. And I had the links in the description where you can watch that in full on CNN. And I'm going to get into some pieces of the write-up in just a second to kind of go up over everything. And I do got to say this. I got to see it to see exactly what the facts is, because there's so much stuff getting sent to this media. I don't know what to trust at this point in time. But if you hear directly the language they speaking in, they are really trying to hit Diddy with a RICO charge. This is one of them things where you can tell me you got witnesses. You can tell me they saying this, they saying that. Now, 8 different lawsuits, that's most definitely heavy when you under federal investigation. What happened with Cassie in that video most definitely kills Diddy credibility in the courtroom, kills his credibility in public perception and things of that nature. But this is one thing I always want y'all to know. When it comes to the laws of the land in America, this isn't a morale thing. This isn't a right or wrong thing. It's always money. It's always business. Because if it was all about right from wrong, lawyers would all be the same price. You wouldn't be able to pay for this lawyer to get up out of this case. You wouldn't be able to get a higher value lawyer. It'll be like, hey, do we have the evidence for you to get found guilty or not? We are always focused on getting the truth and locking those up. We know in this case, that ain't how it works in America. So don't ever get confused with this lingo, the way that they talk in the news, the media. I always tell y'all, think to a higher power, bro. The way the world works, the way that they operate, it's all business. Don't ever mix laws with morals and principles of man, because you can buy your way out of legal activity, out of illegal problems and activity out here in America. It just is what it is. What they do is they try to point the finger to pick and choose when they want to make things, oh, well, we moving this way now, or you a monster, you a monster. Nah, just keeping it all the way 1,000 with y'all. Now, in Diddy case, he gonna have to prove his innocence. He does have the money and the resources to fight these cases. they are going to have to come with the full proof. And I'm going to need to see it before I pass judgment on these other things. Money laundering, drug trafficking, and things of that nature. Sex workers, all that. What he did with Cassie, that's what he did with Cassie. Most definitely. We ain't going to push and promote that. It's something that should be done to people at all. And the write-up says this. Combs has been named in 8 civil lawsuits since November. 7 directly accusing him of sexual assault. One of the 8 lawsuits filed by former girlfriend Cassie Ventura has been settled. Another lawsuit accused his son, Christian Combs, of sexual assault, and Sean Combs is accused of aiding and abetting. A spokesperson for the Homeland Security Investigation Agency, HSI, declined to comment on the existence of a grand jury, but noted the investigation remains ongoing. Though these potential witnesses have not yet been prepped for testimony, both sources told CNN, cautioning that HSI investigators are still in the process of gathering evidence and questioning potential sources of information in the federal probe into Combs. One source said investigators are being thorough and taking their time to ensure that an indictment, should there be one, is bulletproof. Now, additional sources told CNN that the majority of the plaintiffs who have filed civil suits against Combs have been interviewed by federal investigators. Combs has vehemently denied claims for many of the civil suits, but has not responded to all of these allegations. In December 2023, after 4 lawsuits had been filed against him, Combs posted a fierce denial on his social media, writing that sickening allegations have been made by accusers looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. Federal investigators are now digging deeper, and some of the accusers have been questioned numerous times, a source said. A second source corroborates this current state of the investigations. Accusers who have spoken to federal agents during the investigation have been actively cooperating with investigators, with some handing over evidence they believe may be helpful in the probe, one source said. Investigators are also bringing in new individuals for questioning, including corroborating witnesses or of accusers. Evidence includes video from Combs' residence. Federal investigators are in possession of video taken inside Combs' recently searched residences, a source said. It's unclear whether the video seized was during the raids or whether investigators obtained video from individuals they have been questioning. Now, they saying witnesses are coming in. They are corroborating. They saying they getting video footage. They can't confirm that were they getting it from the surveillance taken from Diddy home, or are the people bringing in evidence? I can tell you this, it most definitely looks like they even trying to put a conspiracy together, bare minimum. But hey, we'll see when everything play out in court. When it comes to the other stuff, Diddy is innocent until proven guilty that they're accusing him of, because I ain't seen nothing yet. What he did with Cassie cannot be arrested and charged for that because of the statute of limitations is up and things. But when it comes to all this other stuff, money laundering, just painting him out to be a complete criminal organization, hey, we'll have to see. It gets deeper, it get deeper, it get deeper. All I'm going to say is don't get it twisted and confused the way that they painting this out and things of that nature, because when they hit the media, it's going to make you look guilty. That just is what that is. But we shall see how everything get played out. I'll keep y'all updated with it. We going to come with all the facts. We ain't seen nothing yet. Tell me what y'all think. Got more coming, more videos, all that. 1,000 for shit show. Stay on your pivot.